In the IELTS writing test, one of the scores you're given is for coherence and cohesion, and today I want to outline just exactly what that means. My name is Lara Ryan, I've been an IELTS examiner, I've taught IELTS at the British Council, I've been teaching IELTS since 2010, and I am the founder of Complete Test Success. Two aspects of coherence and cohesion are your use of paragraphing and logical organisation. Now, the easiest way to get this right is to follow the paragraph structure that you're given by an IELTS teacher or an IELTS tutor. Now, I have provided structures already on my YouTube channel. You're free to use those. If you're using other structures that a different tutor has given you, by all means continue using those. But by following those structures, it will allow you to organise your essay into suitable paragraphs, and it will include logical organisation because you know exactly where to put all the information in each part of your essay. Something else that the examiner is looking for when deciding on your coherence and cohesion score is logical organisation of ideas and progression. Now, to get this right, the easiest thing you can do is to plan your essay before you write the actual essay. So if you've written an essay plan, you know what your ideas are, you know how you're going to develop each of those ideas, then you have a map of what you're going to do in your essay. As long as all of your ideas are appropriate and the development is related to the idea you said that you would discuss, then you're going to get this right. So basically, by writing an essay plan, you can be sure that this part of your coherence and cohesion score is going to be appropriate. The next area is referencing and substitution, and this really depends on your language ability. If you've got a good level of English, you're probably doing this correctly already. But let me just explain to you what we mean by referencing and substitution so that you know if this is an area you're doing correctly or not, and if you need to work on it to help improve your coherence and cohesion score. So here I have two sentences. I have a brother, and my brother lives in Australia. He has a dog, but I don't have a dog. Now, in each of these sentences, there is a mistake with the referencing and substitution. So let me show you where the first mistake is. Here, where I've said my brother a second time, this is poor referencing and substitution. I've already told you who I'm talking about when I said I have a brother. So it would not be appropriate to repeat my brother here in the second half of the sentence. So instead, you need to use a pronoun like he. And using pronouns like this instead of repeating the same noun over and over again is one aspect of referencing and substitution, and doing it correctly can help you get a higher coherence and cohesion score. In the second sentence, the problem this time is that I've repeated a dog at the end. But you already know that I'm talking about dogs, so repeating a dog here would be inappropriate, and instead we would say one. He has a dog, but I don't have one. So that's what we mean by referencing and substitution. Another way to have referencing and substitution is to use definite article. So if we were saying, I saw a dog and the dog started running after me, the dog is referring back to the dog that I mentioned earlier. And one final way that we can use referencing and substitution is to actually use synonyms. So instead of repeating the same words over and over again, we can use a synonym, another word with the same meaning, instead of repeating the word we've already used. The final aspect of coherence and cohesion is your use of cohesive devices. Now, many students misunderstand what a cohesive device is. They think it's more academic, elaborate words like moreover, furthermore, in addition. But it's not just these words. Normal words can also be considered cohesive devices. And let me show you an example. Okay, so if we look at those same two sentences from earlier. I have a brother and he lives in Australia. He has a dog, but I don't have one. In these sentences, the cohesive devices are and but. So what's the purpose of a cohesive device? Well, basically it's when we have two pieces of information and we're trying to show the connection between those pieces of information. We're trying to show the relationship between those pieces of information. And the cohesive device tells us what that relationship is. It tells us what the connection is between two pieces of information. So in the first sentence, I have a brother, that is positive, and he lives in Australia. That there is also positive. So the relationship between these pieces of information determines that I need to use the word and. If I use the word but here, that would be inaccurate because it wouldn't correctly show me the connection between these pieces of information. However, in the second sentence, The first part, he has a dog, that's positive, and I don't have one. That there is negative. So this time, the relationship between those two pieces of information is different. One is positive and one is negative. And therefore, that relationship determines that I need to use the word but. Okay, so as you can see, cohesive devices can be just normal words like and or but. If I told you that I went to the shop because, well, you know what's coming next. I'm going to give you the reason. So the word because is a cohesive device that shows you the reason for a particular action. Other cohesive devices could be things like in addition, moreover, furthermore, while, whereas, in contrast, on one hand, on the other hand, and all these types of words that again show the relationship or the connection between two pieces of information. So in terms of cohesive devices, the two types of mistakes that I see most often are people using cohesive devices inaccurately. So for example, using the word besides to mean in addition. Those have different meanings, they're not used in the same way. So if you're going to use a cohesive device, make sure you understand exactly what it is saying, the relationship between two pieces of information is. If you're just guessing what it means and you start using it, you'll probably use it incorrectly. So do some research before you use cohesive devices so that you're using them accurately. Inaccurate use of cohesive devices can bring down your score incredibly quickly. The other common issue is that people overuse cohesive devices. So they think that in the IELTS test they must use cohesive devices, so they just start putting cohesive devices at the start of every sentence. That's not how it works. You should be showing the reader or helping guide the reader through your essay when you use a cohesive device. So if you're changing topic, a cohesive device is perfect so that the reader knows what's happening. If you have been talking about one idea and now you're introducing another idea, again, a cohesive device is perfect. But don't start every sentence with a cohesive device. That's going to limit your score. So that's a brief overview of what the examiner is looking for to determine your coherence and cohesion score. If you want more support from me, you can check out the links in the video description. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment, and see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care and bye-bye.